Hello, beautiful earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Welcome to your collective tarot love reading. I'm going to be reading for love. We're going to talk about your person, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what their goals are, and what their actions may be towards you. You can also choose to view it through a different lens, friendship, business relationship. That is entirely up to you. But don't force anything to fit. Trust your own intuition. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice, guidance, and energy check-in. Let's set the attention to get you some helpful, insightful messages about where you're at with your person. I hope the universe guides me well to deliver the messages you need to receive. So let's start. All right, instantly. They're like, here we go. So where is your person at? Interesting. I love the Ace of Pentacles. The Three of Swords is a little bit wishy-washy. I think they're indecisive about where they stand with you. Let's keep going. Again, completely contradictory energies. It's like all up in their feelings, questioning things, kind of moody. And then this is like celebrating life. This is feeling confident, feeling cocky, being seen, feeling desired. So very interesting. It's almost like what this person presents is not always authentic to what's actually going on inside of them. They're definitely having second guesses. They're doubting themselves. It might be a matter of not feeling worthy enough to court you or ask you out or marry you or whatever the case may be. Their goal is to get to that point, though. Yeah, but their action isn't great. So let's see. All right, let's look at this a little closer. So your person, again, kind of, am I invested in this? Do I see long-term potential in it? I do think they may have issues of self-worth, which honestly is something that's coming to the forefront for almost every reading I've done. It's Capricorn season, right? And especially with Mercury in Capricorn, like the thoughts we're telling ourselves right now are not always the most positive and not always the most accurate and truthful, especially with Mercury retrograde. I think a lot of people are being highly self-critical right now and questioning their own worth and what they contribute to relationships and if they're lovable. Even if they are a high vibe person and generally have good, good esteem and mental health, right? There's just something right now. Yeah, Mercury and Capricorn can be extremely self-critical and harsh and demanding on itself and what it expects from itself. And then when we add, Venus is in Scorpio right now, at least when I'm recording this. So there's almost like kind of this desire for extreme and intensities, but Capricorn is like, well, wait a minute, that's not practical, right? So there is a push-pull going on right now. What is your person feeling? For some of you, your person enjoys having their ego stroked. And I mean, who doesn't on occasion, right? It feels good to be the recipient of a compliment, right? It helps your self-esteem. But ultimately, when you're on a good vibe, right? When you are living in the moment and practicing self-love, whether people come at you with criticism or compliments, ultimately it shouldn't faze you. And I mean, I know that's a little bit unrealistic, right? That's a very hard space to be in, but that's how you know you're operating at kind of like a really high vibrational level. It's like, love me or hate me, this is who I am, and I love me, and I accept me. I think your person is still grappling with issues of self-love and feeling like they are enough, but you'd never know it. They're very protective of how they actually feel. And so there's almost this exhaustion of having to put on a show, of having to come forward feeling like, I know I'm awesome and I'm so cool and Mr. Funny or, Mrs. Witty or whatever it is. There's this peacocking energy with like this kind of Leo energy. I'm not saying you have to be dealing with a Leo by any means, but sometimes I love this card. It depends on the context, but in terms of what they're feeling, I think they feel good when they're with you, but I also think it's because you stroke their ego and that's what they need because they question it. I don't think this person actually thinks they're the shit, but you'd never know it because they come off as like, it's like your perception is that they kind of think they're God's gift a little bit. But again, that's hiding a lot of layers of what's really going on the inside. And I think because of their confidence, whether that's something you envy or resent them for or whatever it is, Part of it is making you question if they have other options, and I don't necessarily see that yet. We'll if that comes up again, we'll certainly talk about it. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just that what seems to be their unshakable confidence is actually, what is a good word for it? Overcompensating for feeling a bit lackluster or down in the dumps. Again, self-worth stuff. Very much being highlighted with this full moon in Cancer, right? Everyone's going to be up in their feels a little bit, right? You know, particularly my Capricorns out there who are watching this. But again, this is for all the earth signs, so I'm just putting it out there. And I say that because Cancer opposes Capricorn, so there's like a real good push-pull thing going on there. In terms of what your person is thinking, again, they're confused. They're not really seeing things with clarity right now. It's like they make a decision and then they don't stick to it. The Five of Swords is Venus and Aquarius. This card has come up for a couple people. Venus and Aquarius can be very detached, right? It's not that it's not a friendly and social sign. It is, but there's also like this, I don't want to get into the mushy stuff. I don't want to talk about the feelings because that's heavy. That weighs us down. Like, let's keep it light and mobile and like, you know, let's talk about the good things and the pleasant things and things that are interesting and intriguing and excited. You know, we can have serious talks, but once the emotions start getting involved, it's a little bit uncomfortable for them. So, I don't love that. I don't love that. I also think this person is possibly coming off some rejection. I think that's exactly what this is. So again, this isn't going to be everybody's story by no means. It, you know, if it fits and resonates, take it and run with it. But for some of you, you may have recently connected with someone or are crushing on somebody who, again, you'd never know it, but it's like they're coming off of some heavy heartbreak with an ex or something happened in their personal life that really impacted them and their confidence, their ego kind of took a blow. So it's like they're trying to get back out there and, you know, roll up their sleeves and be like, life is great and I'm good and I'm a catch. And I don't know if they actually believe that though. And that makes me kind of sad for your person a little bit. They have some deep inner wounds that are not the most comfortable to deal with, especially mother issues is coming through. Maybe not feeling like they're lovable, or if they didn't come from a happy, loving, nurturing household, it's almost like they don't think they deserve that, and they are manifesting that narrative accidentally because it's like this firm held belief that, again, isn't true. But because it's kind of stored in the back of their memory, they keep manifesting partnerships that prove them right. It's almost like they keep meeting people who don't want to give love to that person. And so it's something that they're really having a hard time with. It feels like they're rejected a lot. I do think this person, if you are with them or have gone on a date or whatever, I think they enjoy your company. I don't question that for a second. I think part of them putting themselves out there to be in a relationship or to connect with people is very much driven by the desire to feed the ego and stroke the ego, and they need to hear from other people how great they are. It's almost like that's how they get their fuel and energy for the day, which, that's not great. That's going to catch up with them eventually. And I don't mean that in an evil, sinister way. It's just, it comes from a place of not loving themselves. And so by relying on other people to tell them that and confirm that, you know, people are going to come and go in life, right? They have to find that in themselves. All right, we've talked about that a lot. I'm just saying that I'm really getting that message strong for your person, earth signs. So then in terms of their goals, what do they eventually want to do? They want to get out of this Five of Swords, confusion, foggy, past narratives, replaying. Like, they want smooth sailing. That's ultimately what the Six is. Sixes are like small wins and victories. They're cards of progress, right? Especially on the mental plane in terms of their thoughts and beliefs about themselves and you know, their worthiness in a relationship potentially, right? It is a card of moving on, but I think what they want to move on from is those shadow side energies inside of them. Those kind of, again, those thoughts that are hypercritical of themselves and telling them the things that are crushing their soul and their ego. I think they want to move away from that, but are they willing to actually do the work to like cathartically work through them and acknowledge them, you know, shine light on the dark and make it less scary, make it less of a monster? Their goal is to move forward from this, but it will involve doing a little bit of soul searching and digging into the past and, you know, removing the skeletons from the closet. And, you know, it's obviously not as easy as it sounds, right? It's going to take some work. So know going into this, earth signs, that, you know, your person, and it never is, but your person isn't all sunshine and rainbows. They have some, like everybody, they have some baggage to sort through as well, and that's been a major theme of the readings this week. And then in terms of the action they're going to take, they're certainly thinking about it if they want to build with you. And then Temperance is a card of Archangel Michael, right? So there is the element of love, sort of in the divine form, but it is passing the cup back and forth, and one person is holding it. So I think this person is kind of at a standstill, because it's like, deep down, they know that they're probably not ready to jump into a relationship head first. It doesn't mean they're not going to play some games and try, because again, that's like a way for them to ignore what's actually going on. I think this person needs to focus on their health. I'm so sorry, Earth signs. My laptop ran out of battery, so it literally just died on me. But we didn't miss much. So I feel like the universe is going to orchestrate something in the life of your person to wake them up, essentially, like divine intervention. I think there's going to be a small crisis, or something is going to happen in their life where they're going to have to like turn back to the self and actually do kind of that soul searching soul work to like cathartically clear out what's holding them back. Because that's really what this is. Something is holding them back from truly being able to love fully and wholly and see themselves as a complete person on their own. It's like they need to attach themselves to somebody who strokes their ego so that they feel good about themselves. You get that. So the only thing that happened when my laptop died is I had pulled the King of Swords in terms of your energy. So you're coming up with energy that's just like, tell me the truth. It's like you're addressing this person head on, straight on with, the sword Aquarian energy sometimes can be open-mindedness, right? Like I'm trying to hear you out, but you need to communicate with me so I know where you're at and what you're feeling. Sometimes there can be kind of an icy cold, stare down with the King of Swords, like not giving an inch, right? It can be a stubborn kind of King of Swords too, because ultimately Aquarius is ruled by both Uranus and Saturn, right? So Saturn can be kind of that like challenging, the opposite of open. It kind of closes things back in. It's my words are not coming to me, but anyway, we're gonna move away from that. But thinking about the future with this person, very Aquarian energy, like, are we, aren't we? You almost have something indicating here friendship first. But I don't think you love that this person kind of has a chip on their shoulder. But again, it's appearances are not what they seem. It's that kind of Neptune energy, right? That's coming through here. It's like the illusion of what this person is and how they present is not actually authentically them. And there's something karmic about this too. I think you're being asked to lean even more into your own authenticity. And if it's a source of fear or struggle for you to ask for what you need very directly, I think that's what the universe is challenging you to do here, quite frankly. All right, so Earth signs, how are they feeling about this person? I mean, you're definitely curious, right? You're watching a tarot reading on them. So I think you're wondering, is it karmic? Is there potential here? I mean, clearly the Lover's card, like there's a mountain between them, but they're both reaching out to embrace. So like there's something here where it's like you feel pulled towards each other, but also with the acknowledgement that, but it's not really perfect. Like it's not quite coming together with ease. So yeah, it's a bit of a question mark, but I mean, I think you're considering, do I have feelings for them? Is this someone I could potentially love? Or if you already do love them in a sense, is it being mirrored back to you? Is it karmic in that sense? We'll find out more. Let's see. So what are you thinking? You're very confused. I sense that as well. And the thing is, so are they. You're both kind of confused about this, but for different reasons. And then your goals regarding this relationship. Yeah, I rightfully so. Like, F yeah. That's badass energy. It's like your goals for this are, you know what? I'm going to set up healthy boundaries until they come correct. Until they start seeing me as I truly am and knowing that I have value and worth in this relationship and it's not all about them. And like, yeah, I love this. Your goals are like, if I learn what I need to from this and they communicate honestly and they're not in a place, well, then I'm going to block it until I find someone or something that treats me better because I know my damn self-worth. Like, I don't need this person to tell me I'm good. I know I'm good. And I think some of you just need to be reminded of that, but it's very strong energy in terms of like knowing what you want and desire, but the incredible frustration for being paired with someone who, you kind of like, you're interested in, you're flirting a little bit, whatever, but you're like, how do they not know? Like, I know so clearly. I know what I want. How does this person not know? And, it's challenging. you can't control this other person or speed up their timeline or the way in which they're learning their life lessons. You can only cheer them on and support them and hope that they come to their senses, but you can't do the work for them, and leave it to an earth sign to try and do the work for everybody, right? But no, you're not though. You're under, because I think you've probably done that in the past and you learn the lessons. You're like, nope, I'm not going to do the thing I did last time where I try and fix this person, or I try and, be this great support system and have nobody supporting me back. Like, you're better than that. You know that. And I don't think you're going to do that. Loving that energy for you. And then in terms of action you're willing to take or should take maybe in this relationship, what does the universe have to say to the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Whoa. You already know. The High Priestess says you already know. And interesting that it fell flat here too. I feel like we mentioned mom issues before, right? Some of you already know that flat out. This person may have told you that they don't speak with their mother anymore or something like that. I think intuitively, or not just intuitively, you flat out know. There's like an inner knowing. You don't question that this person isn't necessarily in a great place right now. And so you're going to have to be patient. And if any sign can do it, it's Earth, right? But there's a little bit of frustration of like, I'm ready to like give them my heart. I'm ready to receive the love back that I know that I bring to the table. But I think you're right to expect that in return. And right now it's very wishy-washy. If you're able to do it and honestly and truthfully stand by it and stick to the limitations being imposed on you, this could be a good friendship that maybe blossoms into something more if this person is willing to show up and do the work. I would hesitate to get into something hot and heavy with them. And quite frankly, where's the fire, right? I don't see this being hot and heavy anytime soon. Even if it already was, it sort of feels like catching feelings for someone that maybe, I'm not saying you necessarily had to sleep with them, but right now it's like all the fire is like this self-absorbed energy into trying to be the brightest star in the sky, when it's like they're on the inside, it's so dim. It's like the embers are barely warm. It's like it's barely keeping its fuel going. It feels like something is running out of energy, even though it's trying to be everything to everyone. I feel for you both. It's disappointing, but I don't mean that in a critical way. It's more that it's kind of sad, and especially for those who are incredibly compassionate, empathetic people. Yeah, it's like part of you does want to come in and rescue or help or see what they need and how you can be a good support system for them. But ultimately, it might be a lesson in knowing that it's not always your job to run in and rescue, because ultimately you would be denying them the lesson and the gift of this experience, which doesn't come without a little bit of pain and tricky energy and uncomfortableness. But if they can work their way through that, I think this person could be a catch. Bottom of the deck is the Hangman. Yeah, I said the same thing to another sign. It's like, I think it was the water signs I said this to. I don't think this has been determined yet, because so much of this has to do with this person and how they react to the energies available to them, the opportunities the universe is presenting them with. Are they going to take the higher route this time? Are they going to be the bigger person? Are they going to take the road less traveled? Are they going to not fall into old patterns of behavior, thought, emotions, whatever, and actually, take the high road? Or are they going to slip back into it? You're never going to miss out on who you're meant to be with. This does feel very karmic with the Lovers, like there's something you're both going to gain from this experience. But in terms of it being something passionate and sexy and romantic, I would do your best to try and remain a friend, or if you want to do the whole let's stay in contact but revisit this later, that might be the best approach to take. What would this person say to the earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Is there something they would say if they were to open up, vote, and be vulnerable? What would the earth sign say? Sometimes I stay awake at night thinking about you. Yeah, because I think they know that they could have tried harder or treated you better. They want to anyway, but there's something that's blocking them. It's like they're incapable of being fully authentic and vulnerable in front of someone they really like. You speak to me through music. Interesting. Ooh. I feel like that's too many cards. I'm only going to take this one because it kind of fell out differently. And then let's see. I hide who I really am from you. Abso-fruitly. That's what we've been saying. And then I am becoming a better person. Oh, see? So it does get happy. I'm going to put this next to here because I just feel like it goes next to that card. And then, yeah, this is like working on themselves, doing the energetic work, aligning with the highest version of themselves to receive the messages from the divine and open up opportunities for healing. Any other cards to give the earth signs confirmation? Let's see. Sunglasses, watching, looking, perception, stalking. That's very likely on your end. You're like, what are they up to? But maybe them as well. I mean, I hide who I really am from you. I stay awake thinking about you. Yeah, they're probably scrolling through social media. Here, I'm literally getting like, they see pictures of you, but they don't like them. Again, because it's like they don't want to give away that attention. Right now, they're in a place where they only want to receive it. And yeah, that's not great. That's not a great quality. But they see you. They see you posting hot selfies or whatever it is, right? And then love call. Expressing love, messages of love, thinking of you, informing you. I love that. I wouldn't expect miracles. And I don't say that to be negative or pessimistic. I hope this takes off with flying colors, but realistically, I don't think it's going to be in the next month. I think it's going to be a process. And so if you're willing to be extremely patient with your person, and determine boundaries from the get-go and really stick to them, I don't think you have any reason not to express how you're feeling, but I also think that there's sort of like an asterisk at the bottom of like, call me when you're ready. But really, when you're ready, don't just like call me and play these silly games because you're feeling sad and you want my attention. And, it's like, call me when you're ready. And I think you need to do it with like that very earth sign energy that packs a punch. Like you mean it. You're serious. It's like, it's your responsibility to do your own work. I'm doing mine. So like when you're ready to show up, call me. Like it's like, it's harsh, but it's also kind of cute. I mean, look at this. It's kind of adorable, right? That's funny. All right. And then Shadow Side Oracle. This is like really, really getting at what's stopping this, what's troubling the person, the air sign. I'm sorry, the earth sign. It's funny I said air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, maybe. Anything else like a Shadow Oracle, something that we need to be aware of that could be getting in the way? For Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's see. Obsessiveness. Write down what you are obsessing over. Realize that it is emotionally draining you. Yeah, so that could be you, right? I'm just putting it out there. Shout out to my Taurus gang. Opposed by Venus and Scorpio right now. God bless you. You're going to make it through this, I promise. But yeah, everybody's experiencing Venus in Scorpio, which can be obsessing about relationships, So yeah, do your best to try and put things in perspective. It's great that you have the capacity to feel very intense and extreme emotions, but make sure it's going to a recipient that is going to mirror that back, and it's going to be worth putting yourself through that energy of dedication, and hopefully not obsessiveness, but you know what I mean? It's beautiful to feel things very, very powerfully, but make sure you're being selective of who you're choosing to put on the other end of that energy. All right, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, I love you guys. Thanks for joining me here today. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. If you're brave enough to leave a comment and say how this relates to your life, I would welcome that. I think sometimes the community can benefit from like sharing stories and relating on those sorts of things, but up to you. Happy holidays for those who are celebrating, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.